This is the outline of the presentation. I represent Africa TESOL, therefore allow me to give a brief introduction about Africa TESOL, and then I will delve into education in Africa and the issues that education in Africa grapples with. Then I'll share with you strategies that some teachers in Africa have used during the pandemic, but these strategies were not without challenges because there were so many obstacles in implementing these strategies. Then I'll talk about opportunities that are afforded by the pandemic, and in particular here, I will talk about opportunities that are afforded to teacher associations. And finally, I will look at the way forward. What lessons can we learn from the pandemic to move education beyond or post COVID-19? First of all, I would like to introduce Africa TESOL. It's a nascent but growing association. We have been in business for about 5 years. We started in 2015, and we have about 300 members, and we have members from Nepal actually, and Nepalese teachers have been attending our events, so I would like to thank them for their active participation. This is our mission. We aspire to advance the English language teaching profession in Africa, and we do this by supporting teachers to improve their ELT pedagogical and research practices. So we engage in many activities to achieve this mission. These activities include annual conferences. So far we have organized 4 conferences. Our 5th conference was supposed to take place in Cote d'Ivoire, but due to the pandemic, it's being postponed until next year. And each conference takes place in a different African country. We also involve in webinars, workshops, so on and so forth. So all of these activities help us achieve our mission. This is our board. We have 9 members. As you can see, the webmaster is a non-voting member in the board. So we consist of 8 members, and we come from 7 different countries. So the board is rather diverse. We are advised by Dr. Harry Kucha. He is from Cameroon, and he is currently a lecturer at Leeds University. He is also the current president of IATEFL. We have 22 affiliates in Africa, and these affiliates come from 21 different countries, and the process of affiliating with our association is straightforward, whereby an agreement is signed between the National Association and our association, Africa TESOL. We have a few partners. Our strategic partner is Transform ELT, and this is an education consulting company based in the UK. And we are happy to say that we have association partners, and NELTA is one of our association partners, as well as Venezuela TESOL. So now I will talk briefly in education in Africa before the pandemic. Education in Africa is a very broad topic, and I don't claim knowledge and expertise in the area, but I'll share with you how it looks, or it looked before the pandemic, and the issues that education in Africa in general grapples with. So like many parts of the world before the pandemic, education, teaching and learning were done face-to-face. The use of technology is very limited, and this is due to the infrastructure. that the continent has. There is lack of resources, as Dr. Ganga mentioned earlier, and this is probably similar to the context in Nepal. So the use of technology is limited, and even if there is technology, it is not allowed to be used in the classroom. We also grapple with the issue of large classes, and in public schools, the average class is between 60 to 80 students, and in university, you find lecture halls with 200 to 500 students. So this is a reality that we grapple with in Africa. Of course, we are under-resourced. We don't have a lot of facilities, and in some schools, you may find classrooms that are not well equipped, so the teachers find it very difficult to teach in poor facilities. Finally, there is a lack of sufficient qualified teachers in Africa, and Africa TESOL aspires to contribute to this and to fill the gap of qualifying teachers and training teachers through providing them with professional development opportunities. So now I'll move to strategies that teachers in Africa have used during the pandemic. And I will do this by discussing the weekly discussions that Africa TESOL organized between April and May under the theme Teaching English During COVID-19 Experiences from Africa. And these discussions were moderated by our professional development coordinator. So we had a total number of we have a total number of 5 discussions, and the participating affiliates included 9 affiliates who hailed from 9 different countries. And in the next couple of slides, I will share with you the strategies that these teachers from these different countries shared with us during these weekly discussions. So the internet is the first strategy or tool that some teachers in Africa resorted to during the pandemic, and WhatsApp is very popular in Africa, and it is used by both teachers and learners. So the teachers would record either a video lesson and send it to their students to engage with it, or in the case of reading, they would send a reading lesson, which includes a reading passage with instructions on how to read, as well as comprehension questions. So they would share that with their students, and the students would complete the reading activities and send back to the teacher for evaluation. So WhatsApp has been in the forefront of strategies used by teachers in Africa. Also, our affiliate in Mali shared with us that they use Google Docs, and this in particular is used to teach writing and collaborative writing, where more than one student can collaborate on writing an essay and then sharing that essay with their teacher for feedback. There is limited use of Zoom, and our affiliate in Benin reported that they use Zoom at the university level. But before they started implementing Zoom, first they had to train the university teachers on the use of Zoom before they are comfortable with using it with their students. And finally, our association affiliate in Burkina Faso reported that they use Facebook, and in particular, Facebook groups to facilitate the teaching and learning in their country. So these are some strategies or tools that relied mainly on the use of the internet. Other strategies include the use of mass media, and this is mainly done by the governments, the national government, because they broadcast lessons and lectures on radios as well as television. So in areas where there is no access to the internet, the government would broadcast live or pre-recorded lessons to students in their respective areas. However, there are some challenges to the implementation of these strategies. And these challenges first include access, issues of access. As you know, Africa is under-resourced and not a lot of teachers or students have access to internet, so this is an issue. Another issue that we grapple with in Africa is lack of electricity. Wherever you are in Africa, there are some power outages in big cities, in remote areas, and in some remote rural areas, there is no electricity. So this is a challenge in the implementation of the strategies mentioned previously. So even if you have access to the internet and you have electricity, mobile data might be an issue because to get a fast internet, you would have to pay a lot of money for a package. And many students and teachers cannot afford this package. If you have the package, if you have the internet, but you are in a remote rural area, you may have a problem with network coverage because not all the areas are covered by mobile network. So this is another challenge in the implementation of the strategies. And finally, teachers lack ICT training skills, not all of them, but many of teachers are not well equipped and well trained to deal with ICT. And the pandemic caught teachers off guard because they were asked to switch their teaching online basically overnight, and many of them were not prepared to do that. So this is another challenge if we are to address some challenges here. So moving on from the challenges to more like opportunities that are afforded by the pandemic, and I would like to talk about the opportunities afforded to us in Africa TESOL during this pandemic.
Thank you. Quick reminder, time check, 3 minutes left. Thank you.
Okay. So we organized many activities, and in the interest of time, I won't be able to go through all of them, but we bought a Zoom subscription and we started organizing a webinar series every month. We also organized the Centering ELT webinar series, and this was supported by the Homeby Trust. In addition, we organized panel discussion series, and this was in July. And this panel discussion series is ongoing now. And the first two panels featured speakers from all over the world, but the remainder of the panel discussion series will feature our affiliates where they come and talk to us about the theme of the panel discussion series, which is personal, professional, and leadership development. Our affiliates also tell us that they have used some strategies to deal with the situation. And again, WhatsApp is very popular, and many associations have WhatsApp for their members, and they use WhatsApp for training teachers, sharing teaching and learning materials. Likewise, the use of Zoom, for example, in Cote d'Ivoire, Angola, and in Burkina Faso, they used Zoom to deliver professional development opportunities to their members. And we have also given our Zoom platform to a couple of our affiliates to use for professional development. And finally, for example, the Teacher Association in Burkina Faso utilized the use of Facebook groups to engage teachers in issues of teaching, learning, as well as professional development. So what is the way forward beyond the pandemic? What should education look like? What are some recommendations for policymakers? I think remote education has shown to be very effective. Therefore, there should be a development of remote education policy. It is important that we use whatever technology that we have available in addition to the internet, because these have shown to be very useful in delivering teaching and learning. It's important that parents are involved in their kids' education, especially in early years. It's obvious that not all parents can be involved because it requires a certain level of education, but as many parents as possible can be involved, this would greatly help. Obviously, we need to work on teacher development, professional development, especially in areas that relate to remote teaching, online teaching, and the use of ICT. And finally, we need to re-examine this idea of high-stakes exams. A lot of countries had to postpone their exams because that required a lot of students to sit together and take the exams. In addition to that, we have seen a lot of creativity from students during remote education, and they showed us what they are capable of doing as opposed to what they are capable of memorizing. And this is what is encouraged by high stakes exams. So these are some strategies and suggestions for the future. I would like to thank you for your attention. I would also like to encourage you to become a member of Africa TESOL by going to our website. If you have any questions about Africa TESOL, you can email us. If you have questions about me, not about me, for me, you can email me at my email address, and I look forward to the Q&A session at the end of this session. Thank you all.